students, welcome to your math class. In this class, we are going to learn about the introduction to fractions. Okay, so let us start our class. Okay, so let us start with this image here. What do you see in front of you? I hope you can see that here we have got a pizza, and you can see that the pizza has been divided into some parts. Let us discuss about these parts. In the first one that you see, we have got a complete whole pizza. Is that right? Here you can see that it is a complete pizza, right? So we write it as one whole pizza. Is that right? It's a complete pizza. But I'm sure we cannot eat this huge pizza, right? So what we did, we cut it exactly into two parts. So this is half part that you can see. So what is this? This is half of the pizza. Is that right? It is half. Now I want to further make it into two pieces. I cannot even eat this half of the complete whole pizza. So this is how you will see that the pizza has been divided. And if you can see, we have in the last image, we have basically divided the pizza into four parts. Okay. So this part here, you see, we call it a quarter. It's 1/4 of the pizza, right? As 1/2, this particular 1/2, we call it half. Similarly, this 1/4, it is called as quarter. Okay. So now we are going to, this is like some kind of a real example that you can think of where you deal with such fractions. Now let us see some more examples here. What you see in front of you again, it's a pizza, but here you see that you have certain slices which are cut into it. So what is this? This is a whole pizza. What is this? This is a whole pizza, complete. How many parts do you see? How many parts? Look into this figure. Let us count the number of parts that in which it has been cut. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So how many parts? We see total 8 parts, right? Now, how many parts will be left if you eat 3 parts? So say you eat this part and this part. So if you eat 3 parts, what are you left with? You are left with 5 parts. Am I right? Now, how much pizza will be left if you eat 4 parts of this pizza? So now say you have eaten 4 parts. So what are you left with? You are left with 4 parts. Now look into the image that is in front of you. See, if you have had all this part, you have had everything that is on this side. Suppose here you don't even see anything. So what do you see on the other side? Do you see exactly half of the pizza? So now what you see here is that out of 8 parts, if we see only 4 parts, it is basically half of the whole pizza. Is that right? 4 parts here out of 8, if they are left, it is exactly half of the pizza. So now I want you to think carefully that how a big portion can be divided into small parts. Okay. And we are going to see that how these parts, they can be named accordingly. Now some more examples where you might see these fractions in your daily life. So the first example is pizza itself, then the donuts, then some, like everything you can see, everything if you break into parts, that is you have divided it into fractions. Now what else you see are some measuring cups. This is one whole. This is a half. So this is one whole. This is half. This is 3/4. We'll learn about this later. And this we see it is 1/4. This is 1/4. So let us learn what exactly do we mean by these fractions by looking at some images. Let us understand fractions mathematically. So starting with the definition, a fraction is a part of whole. Very important line. What is a fraction? It is just a part of something which is big. Okay? Something which is complete. Out of it, if we are breaking into parts, we call it fractions. The whole here could be an object or it could be a group of objects. Very important line again. Earlier what we discussed was a single pizza that we were breaking into parts. If instead of one pizza I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 balls, and out of these 8 balls say 4 of them are pink. Okay, so here again, how many total balls do you have? You have 8. So here, if we are talking about this pizza, this was acting as a whole part. But now because we are talking about 8 balls, so all of these 8 balls are basically the whole. Okay, so if I just select 2 parts of this particular pizza, it is half of the pizza. And in this image where you see 8 balls, if I take out 4 balls, then again it is half of the total. Okay, so do you see we can write the fraction for a single object, that is here as a pizza we have taken example, and you can have a group of objects to write as in a fraction. So keeping these in your mind, let's move forward. It says but all the parts of the whole needs to be equal. Very important point again. Everything needs to be equal if we are writing them in fractions. Okay, so here comes the example you can see in front of you. Let's discuss about these images in a broader sense. The first one that you see is the whole, that is a complete circle. Is that right? We see the complete circle colored, so it is one whole. Okay, and we denote it by 1. Now look at the second image. If we divide the circle into 2 equal parts, right? So you cannot make unequal parts and say that this is the fraction. No, you need to make equal parts. Okay, and then you shade a particular portion. So what do we have? We have half of the whole. We have half of the circle. So we can say we have got half of the whole, the complete. Okay, now look at the third image. Here, if we divide this circle into 4 equal parts, look into the image, you see 1, 2, 3 and 4 equal parts. Out of these 4 parts, how many do you see shaded? We see 1 shaded. So it is 1/4 of the whole. It is 1/4 of the complete circle, right? Now, if we divide the circle into 4 equal parts and shade 3 parts, so what do you write? You write 3 out of 4 are shaded, so it is 3/4 of the whole circle. I hope this is clear how we are supposed to look at a diagram and say what part is shaded. So we just count all the parts that it has been cut into and we just write whatever fraction is being denoted. Okay, now look at this image here. The first purple line that you see, it shows you a whole, a complete. Look at the second image. You see that the whole has been divided into 2 parts. So how do we write? We write it as 1/2 and 1/2. That is half and half. Now, if we divide it into 3 equal parts, do you see here? Exactly one whole is being divided into small parts. Now, if you divide it to 3 equal parts, Each and every part will be 1 over 3, 1 over 3, 1 over 3. Now if you divide it into 4 equal parts, it will be 1 over 4, 1 over 4, 1 over 4, 1 over 4. And if you keep on seeing in the last one, we have the whole divided into 12 equal parts. So what is the value of each part? It is 1 over 12. I hope this is clear how a single thing can be broken down into several pieces, and no matter how many divisions you make of a single object. I hope this is clear. Let us now see how we can read some of the fractions. Right? So in the first image, how many parts do you see? In this first image, how many parts do you see? I hope clearly what you see in front of you is 2 parts. That is this one and the pink one, right? So out of these 2 parts, I'll just erase this one. Out of these 2 parts, how many do you see shaded? Just 1. So what is the correct way to write it in fraction? It is 1 over 2. This is the correct option. Okay. 1 over 2 is the correct option. Now let's see the next one. How many parts do you see in this circle? We have total 4 parts. And out of these total 4 parts, how many do you see shaded? I see 1 shaded. So the correct answer is 1 over 4. Right? The next one, how many parts do you see in a circle? We have total 3 parts, and out of them, how many do you see colored? Just 1. So 1 over 3 is the correct answer. The fourth one, how many parts? 4. How many are shaded? 3. So the correct answer is 3 over 4. Now coming to the last one, how many parts? 3. How many shaded? 2. So the answer is 2 over 3. I hope you have understood how we are required to read the fraction depending upon the given image. Now you must be thinking that we have just talked about these where we were given, like we were here just given maximum 4 divisions. Let us do some questions with even more divisions. Okay, so the first one is already done for you. You see 4 parts and out of it only 1 is shaded. In the next one, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and out of 5, how many do you see shaded? We see a total of 3 shaded. So 3 over 5 is the correct answer. In the next one, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 parts, out of which 3 parts are shaded. In the next one, we have got 5 parts, out of which 4 parts are shaded. In the next one, we have got 8 parts and out of it, total 5 parts are shaded. In the last one, we have total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 parts, out of which 2 are shaded. I hope it is clear how we are writing these fractions. Now, instead of circles, let's see the same in bars. Okay. Now, listen to my question very carefully. Here in the images, you need to write the fractions of those boxes which are not shaded. Listen to question again. Write the fraction for those boxes which are not shaded. Okay. So, let's see how we can write the first one. How many parts do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Out of these 6, how many do you see are not shaded? We see total 4 are not shaded. So the fraction is 4 over 6. I hope you will remember this. Earlier we were working for the fraction that was shaded. Now I have just changed the question a bit. I am asking you what is the fraction of non-shaded part. Okay, so very important to make sure that you are reading the question carefully. Now in the next one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 parts, out of which we see 5 parts are not shaded. Next one, out of 6, we see 3 parts are not shaded. I hope this is clear. Moving ahead, now let us understand when we write a fraction, what is the term which sits on the top and which term sits on the bottom. So, the upper part of a fraction is called a numerator. Make sure that you do remember these spellings well. This is numerator. It tells the number of parts we have. Okay, whether it is the shaded part or the non-shaded part or whatever is asked in the question. The lower part of the fraction is the denominator. The lower part is denominator. It tells the total part in a whole. Look here. Every time this particular denominator, let us write it with a capital T, it is showing what is the total part, and this here numerator I am writing with capital N, it shows what part do we need, what are we talking about, right? So here you see in front of you it is 3 over 5. 3 is the numerator and 5 is denominator. And how do we read this fraction? We read it as 3/5, right? This number which is sitting on the top is written as it is 3, and the number at the bottom, it is written as 3/5, not 3/5, it is 3/5.
Now, subscribe to Bright Tutee course at ₹1 per day only. Download Bright Tutee app from Play Store and get the online courses prepared by competent and experienced teachers for different education boards of classes 6 to 10. Bright Tutee courses are available for the subjects of Math, Science, Social Science, English and Hindi in English and Hindi medium. Bright Tutee follows 3-step approach, that is learning, assessment and exam preparation. In learning, topic-wise video lectures with explanation of concepts and discussion of textbook examples and questions are available with the solutions. In assessment, topic-wise online MCQ test, practice assignments and chapter-wise question bank are available with the solutions. In exam preparation, previous year's question papers, sample papers and model test papers are available with the solutions. Sign up today on Bright Tutee and avail your courses at affordable prices.